Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a fish and chip shop. I made and designed this for the suburbs of Stream City. I think it's going to fit in nicely here. Anyway, let's get started. This is the amount of space required to make your build, and here are all of the materials that we will use to make it. Begin by placing a brick block on the ground. Right of that, leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then in this third space, place a white concrete. Dig in the ground extending right 7 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and fill all of these in using sea lanterns. On the end of the row, place a brick block, and then extend the brick backwards by 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We then simply want to extend the brick all the way across and join it forwards all the way to the front of the build. What we can then do from here is extend the first brick block that we placed forwards 1, left 1, and then backwards. Come to the back left corner and extend this block outwards in every direction, including diagonally like this. Come over to the opposite corner and do the same thing, and then come to the front and do the same thing as we did on the opposite side, so extend it forwards and to the right, and also add a block in the corner. The end result of all of that should look like this. Next, we're going to go all the way around the build and add 3 rows of bricks on top of every single brick block that we've placed. 1, 2, 3. Like this. Next, we're going to add a layer of brick slabs on top of the bricks, and on the front 2 pillars of the build, we'll extend these slabs forwards by 1, like so. The purpose of the overhanging parts is to place chains hanging down from them, with flower pots underneath, and in a moment we'll grab ferns and place those in the flower pots. It's just a nice little bit of added decoration for the outside. We also want to extend the white concrete up by 2 rows, 1, 2, and then fill in the space between the white concrete and the wall in using glass pane. This is placed directly on top of the sea lanterns. We then want to place a row of light blue concrete that sits on top of the white concrete and the glass. The row of light blue wants to be 2 rows high, and we also want to extend it an additional row forwards, just like this. Then you can choose to add smooth quartz slabs underneath and above the row of blue concrete. I'm also going to, I might actually leave this back row alone. I think it's kind of interesting that it's a little bit different from the front. And later on this will become a sign. We're also going to add a row of glass pane just inside the doorway here on the left. And to complete this effect, we'll simply just place an end rod suspended off the ground in front of the center glass pane. Next, I am going to dig out the first few rows of the grid just in front of the chip shop, including maybe just inside of the entrance as well, just where the door is, and replace all of this using smooth stone. This will help to assimilate it into our worlds. And I'm also going to go around the chippy, and I'm going to replace the white concrete that I have for the grid, and I'm just going to place a mixture of ferns and large ferns in the podzol. Now is a good opportunity to make the sign, I think. So we're going to throw a loom down on the ground, open it up, place a white banner in there with some blue dye, and we are going to write fish and chips, all one word. So the first letter that we have to make is F. This is a vertical row of blue on the left side, horizontal row of blue across the top, and a horizontal row of blue through the middle. The next letter is I. This is a vertical row of blue straight down the middle. Next is S. So this is a horizontal row of blue on the top, the bottom, and a diagonal row top left corner to bottom right corner. Next is H. This is a vertical row of blue on the left, on the right, and then a horizontal row of blue straight through the middle. Next will be N. So this is a vertical row of blue on the left, the right, and then a diagonal row top left corner to bottom right corner. Next will be C. This is a horizontal row across the top, across the bottom, and then a vertical row of blue on the left side. Next would be H again, but we have one. Then it would be I, but we have one. So the last letter that we actually need to make is P. This is a vertical row of blue on the left side, white dye in there, make the lower half of the banner white, place blue dye in there, place a horizontal row of blue straight through the center of the banner, along the top, and a vertical row of blue on the left side. So we can now make our sign. If we start from the left side of it, as is customary, F, I, S, H, N, C, H, I, P, S. Fish and chips. With all of that outside work complete, we can now head inside of the fish shop. So first of all, we are going to replace the floor inside of the store using iron block. Whilst I'm up here, I'm also going to tackle the roof. This is made out of chiseled quartz blocks. We're going to add a border of smooth quartz slabs around the edge of it, and just on top of the light blue concrete on the front as well. And I'm also going to add a bit of shroom light into the center of the roof so that we have a little bit of a lighting situation inside of the chip shop. Now, with those two things complete, we can work on the interior even more. All the way over in the back right corner of the store, we want to dig out the 2 blocks, stemming from the corner extending left, place sea lanterns in that empty space, destroy a 2x2 space behind this, and then we are simply going to have to place some bricks along the back side of the build in such a way that we are able to have a little mini fridge here. So we also want to destroy, and I guess we could even use light grey concrete for this, although it would probably be better with a white block. It makes more sense for the interior of a fridge, although it doesn't matter too much. Well, in the back of the fridge here, we are going to place some iron trapdoors in the middle. Then we are going to add some candles. So candles, in my view, kind of look like bottles, and we can even add some item frames behind the candles, and we can add some different potions to look like different drinks choices. Then all we have to do is grab the glass end rods and also the blue concrete and the red concrete. If I actually just put those away, add glass on top of the sea lanterns, a red concrete and a blue on top of the glass, then place an end rod in front of the top left side of the fridge. I guess you could do it on the right as well, it really doesn't matter too much. And there we go, perfect, a little drinks storage area. Then I've gotten rid of most of the materials that I wanted to use, so left of this we are going to place an entire row of light grey concrete extending all the way over to the left. Then we want to have some like order board options, so we'll place some black concretes kind of like scattered about in this sort of fashion like this. And I figured that these can kind of be like things that you can order, so like different pictures of the different things that are on offer and little special offers and things that you can order. Obviously we're using a bit of imagination with the paintings, but that's the entire point of the game. And then over here on the right we're going to have an end rod with a couple of brown shulker boxes extending down from the end rod, and this is going to look like a giant kebab. You could even have another one as well, since there's typically different kinds of meats. We could even go for a red one or an orange, but red might be a little bit on the nose, so maybe we'll just go with like orange for a different style of kebab. I think that that'd be alright. Stick an item frame next to it, an iron sword so that we can carve said kebabs. We can even stick a couple of item frames along the back here, some white candles to look like salt shakers. You could even go for brown candles to look like vinegar bottles as well, if you did so choose, or you could even just pass the white ones off as the same as well. And this is looking pretty good back here. Next, leaving a gap of 2 in between this counter space at the back, we are going to place a row of upside down smooth quartz stairs extending from this wall, going all the way over to the right, leaving a gap of 1 so that we are actually able to navigate the inside of this place. Then we'll stick an oak trapdoor on the end and we can flip that up and down. Then, on this counter space, we want to place a glass block extending all the way over, leaving a row of 3 on the end. Place light grey carpet on top of the glass, and behind all of the glass parts, place light grey shulker boxes with item frames stacked on top. Fill the item frames in with a mixture of horn coral fans, cooked cod and cooked salmon. You can even use an orange candle as well, that kind of looks like something that's been battered. In any sort of variety that you like until you're quite happy, and of course spin things around so that it looks a little bit more disheveled. You probably don't want it to look all nice and perfect. We can of course add stuff in the back as well, so on these item frames too, although it is sometimes nice just to have an empty item frame. And along the empty space that we have here, we want to have a cash register, an item frame, and a couple of white candles to look like salt shakers or vinegar or whatever it is that you might like. And there we go, that's the entire shop complete. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.